Welcome to episode 13 of Chaotic Neutral. This isn't the second time we've had to redo the intro. We're normal people with normal lives and normal brains. And I'm hoping that you are too. Today is
Tell us
the
your star
22nd.
sign in the comments.
Tell us your star sign. Neither of
Are
us
you
are going to
waxing
do
or waning.
neither of us are going to do anything with that information whatsoever.
Nothing.
You're kind of just talking to a brick wall at that point. But if you do want to tell us your birthday and your social security number, now see that is something we can work with 100%.
I'm a Scorpio.
I'm a
Money into
fucking-
your bank account. It's just what I do.
I'm a fucking Libra. That was not intentional
So
either.
dog shit.
I never went. I want to clarify before I get any questions, because of course I will, naturally. The Omega tattoo on my arm is not indicative of my star sign. I did not think of that. I got it when I was 18, like a week after
Is
I
that a
turned
thing?
18. Yeah, the symbol for Libra is an omega with like two like wavy lines underneath it or some shit like that.
Is it?
It is, yes.
No, not library. Libra.
The library call sign. The librarian's call
It
sign.
kinda is, yeah.
It is an omega. It's not kinda. It is an omega.
Yeah, kinda.
Hey, I'm looking at it right now. It's kind of looking like a fucking circle to me. I don't know.
Oh, wait a minute.
Listen,
You
pal.
said it has the squiggly lines. You're thinking of like Aqueous or whatever.
Aquarius, and no.
Aquarius, dumbass.
I've been an Aquarius this whole time. I've been lied to. Everyone's been telling
Fucking
me I'm a Libra.
idiot.
But no, I got it because I wanted some other dumb shit as a concept, and then I ended up just getting the Omega. And
Yeah,
then,
weren't you gonna get the alpha on the other arm?
Yeah, I was gonna get Alpha here instead of the coffin. But after this one got done, you can't really see it, but it got infected. It lost a lot of the color. Most of it's scar tissue now, actually. So I decided not to finish that idea because I just didn't want to go back to the same tattooist, and then I just decided to not.
Do you think if I went to like a tattoo artist, they would allow me to like you give them the thing, you're like, I want this design. Do you think you'd be okay with them tattooing a guide to inserting heroin into my arm on my arm?
You could 100% find somebody to do it. I don't know if you could go to an actual shop and get it done, but
Can you imagine like all the steps, like the recommended points, the arrows, the circles.
that would be good. I would like
Yeah.
that. That'd be funny.
So anytime I want to do heroin, I'm covered.
Doesn't matter how zonked you are, you'll know.
Doesn't matter how zonked I am, I have step-by-step instructions.
As long as you're able to still read, as long as you're in a place where you're still able to read words, you're fine. You'll be fine.
Not likely.
Definitely not.
I looked up Libra, and for some reason, like, it's showing me all the celebrities that are Libras.
Oh, yeah.
Jacob
That's just
Sartorius.
Yo.
Here's
just
a
like me
picture
for
of
real.
Him and like, who is this? Him and Millie Bobby Brown, like, almost kissing. Why is this a picture on the internet?
Whoa. He's like
Are they even like
19.
now? When this picture was taken, who fucking knows?
He was
This is weird.
17 and like 99%. He was like 2 days away.
2 days away.
Let's see, Jacob Sartorius.
there.
He's
is he
not. Oh, he
famous
is 19 now. That was a guess. I didn't even know. I just said that to be funny. I was gonna say he was 21 to be what?
The top thing under, the people also asked on Google.
Yeah.
The top one is, what disease does
Yeah,
Jacob
yeah.
Sartorius
Yeah, I see
have?
that. I see that.
Yeah.
Rosacea.
Rosacea?
Oh, I have wet
gives him-
cheeks. Oh, fuck
Oh.
off.
My cheeks are willy wet.
They're willy wet and I get willy warm sometimes. Shut up. If you have rosacea, die. Sorry.
All the rosacea fans out there, get radicalized. Buy an AR-15.
All you rosacea heads out there, go out and buy
Shisha
yourself probably some like cortisone or something first, and then go out and get an AR-15.
All you rosacea heads out there, for every one of your birthdays, drink a whole bottle of whiskey and play Russian roulette. If you win, you get to live another year.
Play Russian roulette, but backwards. There's only one empty chamber.
Imagine landing on that empty trade. That's happened to somebody.
Yeah,
They've
100%.
landed on the empty chamber and it changed their fucking life.
Oh yeah,
They found like God or something.
absolutely they did.
Yeah.
I would really hope that if like that stroke of luck were to happen to you and you just didn't change in any way, shape, or form like that, yeah. I mean, that's like, honestly, I kind of would hope that's like I'd be that kind of guy. Like I would hope
change.
Yeah, like I'd hope I'd still, even if it is shitty, like I'd still be comfortable enough and like confident enough in who I am that I'm like, this is a sign that I'm just too good to die. I can't not do it now. I have to live. I can't not live.
Always Sunny episode where Mac tries to kill himself and lands on the empty barrel.
There needs to be an episode where
Jesus.
there needs to be an episode. No, there is an episode where Frank tries to kill himself, right? Doesn't he like try to hang himself, but his neck's too fat? Like, isn't that's the joke?
Right.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah.
Or there's also, I mean, would you consider it killing himself? There's also the one where he like goes on a crazy alcohol binge, where even the crew is like, the gang is like,
yeah,
you're not okay.
Right.
I mean, drinking.
Yeah, okay. I would probably consider that as well. So far, he's the only person to attempt suicide, and he's done it more than once.
I feel like
of the main cast,
Always Sunny
of the main
suicide.
cast.
What do you think's gonna come up?
Of the main cast is what I mean. Like of the crew, he's the only one to like very obviously attempt suicide.
I don't know how that show's gonna end. They've been like pulling out some like sad hits recently.
Yeah. Well, I thought that they were
like,
done. I thought they were done after the last season. I thought that was like the whole thing. They were packing it up.
I don't think so. Is always. Oh wait. Now let me look up. Is Always Sunny. Welcome to the Google show where we just Google things.
Welcome to the Let Me Google That
was
For
a
You
stupid
podcast.
Joke. I could have done that better.
You could have. That's why I did it
joke.
better. That's why I did it better. So.
Fuck you, pal.
Anyway.
Is Always Sunny in Philadelphia still airing? Still going?
I'm in the mood now. I'm thinking about it. I want to talk about what we're gonna do when I'm back home. So if you're wondering, because everyone who listens to this podcast is just so invested in our personal lives, I'm flying back home. Shelby and I are flying back home Friday, 2 days from today, the day of recording. We have a wedding to go to. One of Shelby's cousins is getting married, so we're excited about that. We're going to be back for 2 weeks. The second week that we're home, I'm house sitting, which is going to be fun. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
The people also asked, is Always Sunny in Philadelphia scripted? No, it's real.
No, not at all.
It's real. Yeah.
There's never been a scripted moment of that show.
They ruined Cricket's life, actually. They burned him and threw him out windows and stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's renewed up to, like, season 18.
Hell yeah, that's good.
They're still going.
Well, I mean, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, something about how stupid is something stupid that you're saying about, like, coming over or something.
Yeah, it was really
Chicago
stupid. It really doesn't matter to anybody but me mainly. I'm the only person who really cares. Yeah, you don't care. Even Shelby doesn't care. Like she's gonna be there, but she doesn't really care either. I've been trying to talk to her about things we could do, but she doesn't care. So, my family doesn't care that I'm coming. No, I'm excited. It's been like 2 whole months. I was there. It's so weird to think we were there in April, but it feels like it's been like 6 months.
It does feel like it's been 6 months. The last year, all of 2022 has felt like my entire life.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just
it's been like the longest year ever.
Well, I think that it's like we're finally getting, like, I hate the phrase, we're kind of like finally going back to pre-COVID, like, scheduling, I guess. Like, things are opening up where everyone's kind of going back to work for the most part. So like, I feel like we're just kind of feeling the effects of what our lives used to be like. But now it's like we've had 2 years of not having to deal with it as much. So now that we have to deal with it in full force again, it's like, oh fuck, wow, I really, really want to kill myself now. It was only I was
shit going on.
I was only about here. I was only about here. Now I'm here. And if I get here, and if you're watching this at home, you'll see my hand is out of frame. If I get here,
off the screen.
if I get up here, you don't want me up here because that means brain matter, pal. You can't clean it off. You got to paint over it. Okay. So, anyways,
I really wanna. You know how like in a show, if you ever watched like an online panel, and everybody's just like in their separate like houses and like talking over like Zoom or something.
Yeah.
There's always one guy that's like right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
like one guy that is super fucking close.
Always.
I feel like it'd be a really funny bit if I just did that for an entire episode.
That would be really funny.
It has
I don't.
to be a weird angle.
You'd have to get a.
Like look up and to the left at you.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, what you could do is you could get one of those like desk top, those really tiny mic stands, and then you can just screw in your webcam to the top of it and have it sit directly in front of you.
I have one of those.
Oh yeah, you do. It came with the
Yeah.
one for the snowball, but the threads are way too fucking big for it, and there's no adapter
Just like
for it.
put like a fuck ton of tape on that thing.
Actually, yeah,
Duct tape the shit out of it.
legitimately, yes, you could do that.
Yeah, I could.
You should.
Nothing's stopping me.
We should do that while I'm back home. That'll be our next.
Stop the podcast right now.
It's just an abrupt cut, and it's just super close up of you, and I'm just like, okay.
I have like the
anyways.
Megamind like no bitches angle
Yes, exactly.
like up here. Yeah.
We got to get you some sort of like I think OBS has it where you can do like effects in line, so you can have like a bulge filter that just enlarges your forehead as you're staring at the at the camera, but you can't move or else your one eye gets huge, and then it'll just freak people out. So let's just
like
minimize
a
it.
fish eye?
Yeah, but like localize it to just one part of the screen instead of making the whole frame like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have an
It
app
would be kind of
on my
funny to
phone.
have like this area of my camera, like right here,
Mm.
be like a wildly different zoom for some reason. So I could be like, "What's up?" And then just like lean left, and all of a sudden I'm right here.
See, that would be awesome. That would be sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's
man.
good?
What's up? What's up?
That'd be a great way if like somebody was like talking about just like mentioning you, not even like talking shit about you, just like mentioning you while you were in like Discord or Zoom or something, and
Yeah.
then you could like pop into frame and be right there, just your eyeball like looking at them.
No
I
bitches?
feel like that'd be fun.
No maidens? Oh, man. Yeah, that would be pretty good. I'm trying to think, though.
Megamind is such a good fucking movie.
I've still never seen it.
You've never seen Megamind.
Wasn't interested.
It's from like this dark era of DreamWorks animation where they made like monsters versus aliens, right? And it's like this kind of like weird pseudo human thingy art style that they
No,
did.
actually, you're thinking of Predator, Alien versus Predator.
No,
There you go.
I'm thinking of monsters versus aliens.
No, I can guarantee you, actually, if you Google it right now. I mean, if we continue the bit where this is the let me Google that for you show, I'll even do it for you right now. Let me see. Go to fucking Google. Alien versus Predator.
I don't even think you're touching your keyboard right now.
DreamWorks. Thank you. Anyways, fucking dumbass.
Arnold, fucking. Why isn't Arnold Schwarzenegger like ever stop showing off your fucking
Alien
keyboard?
versus
He just wants to
Predator.
show off his keyboard.
I'm just
He
typing
worked on
random
that.
keys. I'm just things are happening on my screen I can't control, but I can. I'm controlling them, but I'm not real.
This bit is just to show off his keyboard. He's so proud.
So I finished this keyboard last night actually. So
you know what's funny is that I also have mine. It's the same thing.
it's not
same
actually.
thing. Can you tell
so
the difference?
If you were to
No, you
actually,
can't.
so basically, what
You
if
can't
you
tell
were
the
to?
difference, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you can't.
So if
I
you were to
also
hold
did
these
the
side by
same
side,
amount of work.
actually,
I also did more work on mine than he did.
it's so you're so wrong. Legitimately, I have sunk way too much time into that fucking keyboard.
But you can't tell, so I mean, who knows the difference? So.
You can't tell just by looking at it, but if you were to hear it, you would hear the difference. Very
I did
it's very.
Infinity Work +1. I did Infinity Work +1 +2.
So you can hear the difference. Actually, when you do that, you could actually hear the difference. But if he won't even do it because you
can
can't tell.
close like 18 tasks on your computer.
I've Alt F4. I've stopped recording.
What was I gonna fucking say? Hey, Megamind's a good movie.
Yeah,
You
sure.
bastard. You dumbass.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Dude,
no
we
one-
have to watch Megamind.
Actually, let me check the list real quick. Funny you should say what we need to watch.
The
We still
list?
need to watch. Let me think. Little Nicky, Punch Drunk Love, Big Daddy, Mr. Deeds, 8 Crazy Nights, Anger Management, 51st Dates, Spanglish, The Longest Yard,
You're talking
Click,
about-
Rain
talking
Over Me,
about all
and
the
I Now Pronounce You
Sandler
Chuck and Larry, You Don't Mess with the Zohan, Bedtime Stories, Funny People, Grown
I
Ups.
want to watch a good Adam Sandler movie. I want to watch like Punch Drunk Love.
I know, I do too. We should
I
just
want to
skip.
watch like
I mean,
Uncut Gems or
okay,
something.
listen. As much as I love, The
Mr.
Waterboy,
Sandler.
hold on. As much as I love The Waterboy, and as much as I love Big Daddy, and as much as I love Little Nicky, those are like three. Those are definitely within my top 5 of Sandler movies. As much as I love those 3, I'm willing to skip them just so we can watch Punch Drunk Love because that's
Never
after
seen it.
those. I've never seen it.
I've never seen it, and I heard it's like phenomenal. I heard
It's
it's
one
like
of those
a really
movies.
Great movie.
What was it? It was either that movie or another one that. Rain Over Me.
Rain Over Me. That was the
Uh,
9/11 one.
It is the 9/11 one, and also Adam Sandler's
Rain
character.
over me.
Adam Sandler's character. This was discussed on the Jaded Forum podcast, so this is not an original idea. But Shadow of the Colossus, he plays that game in that movie.
Mhm.
He's a big
and he
fan
plays
of that.
it. I remember. I've never seen Rain Over Me, but I
Neither have
remember
I.
seeing parts of it on TV.
Mhm.
And I recognize, and I was like an XD gamer kid, so I was
Of
like,
course.
"That's Shadow of the Colossus," but
Yeah.
he's playing it wrong. He would play it with other people. He'd be like, "Do you want to get in on this?" And it's like, "That's a single player game," and he'd like have an Xbox controller,
and it was
it's
a PlayStation
game.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would get in my gamer roided. I'd be all gamer angry.
I'm mad. Grr. Let's go,
Going
Brandon.
tilting your head down and looking up angrily is probably the funniest way to be angry.
I'm mad at you.
You look so cursed. I can't see your eyebrows at all.
All right, dude. So we weren't going to talk about that. So we weren't going to. So before we were recording. So I guess I'll just let the cat out of that bag. So we weren't going to talk about my hairline or my eyebrows, but here we are talking about my eyebrows. Like it's a normal thing that I'm okay with when I'm not. Anyways,
when you did that bit, legitimately they disappeared. It was incredible. It was like
I
a
know.
magic trick.
it's one of my
Yeah.
many party tricks for sure.
I can't see. Yeah, it's great. It's incredible
Yeah.
compared
know.
to my full eyebrows.
Anyways, yeah, I'm thinking of pivoting into being that guy, straight guy who does his eyebrows.
Dude, eyebrows are so fucking weird.
They
Aren't
are.
they? In
Yeah.
abstraction, when you like think about it, having eyebrows is just strange.
Because like, what purpose does do the hairs serve aside from catching sweat coming off your forehead? And even then, since I have very little hair there, it doesn't do its job. And
I think
then
it's like
on
it's
top
just
of that,
for emotion.
it's exactly. It's for expression. It's like being
For
able
expression.
to, as a human, being able to look at another human and like kind of be able to gauge their for me, like eyebrows translate to almost excitement. Like if somebody's eyebrows are up here, then I'm like, oh, they're checking that shit out. They're okay. Their interest is peaked. Okay, but if their eyebrows are down here, I'm thinking like, nah. Low, the vibrations are low. They're not very happy right now.
But when you do that, it was so evil.
I know I said I wasn't gonna do anything to this in editing. Every time I do that, I am gonna like just
hard zoom on your
hard zoom, cut in on my fucking face, just so
please do
because I want to see it. I want to see it myself.
Do it again.
And then I think of it.
It's like a combination of like when you put your glasses down, you truly see like the weight under your eye, the blood under your eyes, and then like the eyebrows going down. You just look so tired, so angry.
Oh man!
Also, it got really dark in your room. What's going on?
Well, if you must know,
yeah,
it's cloudy now.
Mm.
And if you had
Typical.
let me just check the time here.
It's not
if you
cloudy
had just
outside.
if you had just
It's not cloudy outside right now. So.
what's that? Oh, my clock's it's not stopped. Oh, look at that! If you had just got on about an hour earlier, maybe the sun would have been nice and shining, and I would have been out here looking nice and beautiful.
I have a watch. I can do that bit. You can't.
Yeah, well,
It's a
that's
digital
nice.
watch though, so I don't have to do this.
Yeah, that's cool. My girlfriend just ordered an Apple Watch, so I will be able to do that when she's not wearing it.
Why don't you have a watch or something?
I am gonna get an Apple Watch. We went to the Apple Store on Friday just to. Shelby is, and I know she won't listen to this, so I don't care. She is a serial like online shopper and sexual offender. No, she is a serial like online shopper and then returner. Like she'll get the item and then be like, oh, this doesn't fit, or I don't actually like this, and then she'll send it back. And I just told her, like, if you want to get an Apple Watch, which is a decent investment, you should probably go to the Apple Store and try it on.
Like $600 fucking dollars.
$400 for like the base, but
$400
yes,
fucking dollars
for the current. That's the Series 7. That's the current one,
This was like $90,
and that's a Fitbit, right?
It's a Fitbit. I mean, it doesn't have as much functionality, of course, and like
But
you
it
can
looks-
sync up parts of it to your phone.
If
But,
you're
like,
not,
it does its job.
well, and if you're like hold it up, looks like an Apple Watch to me. It
Yeah.
looks the same. There's literally no difference to me.
I
You know
think
what I mean?
the Apple name is just the only thing making it that expensive.
Well,
It's probably like $120 worth of technology with a $400 price tag. If I'm willing
Yeah.
to guess.
yes, it is because their Series 3, which they're still selling for some reason, even though the Series 7 is like the current one, the Series 3 is only $200 or $199. So it definitely, yeah, they're definitely upcharging by like 75% at least.
God damn, Apple is just the worst company ever.
It is.
Just fucking awful.
But
People
the
buy
thing
their
is,
products.
but the problem is like once you start using their products and you get used to that, like I've said it a million times, but like once you're in the ecosystem, it's very hard to kind of get out of it because it's so easy, you know? Like the only problem, I think one of the biggest problems is, and Microsoft at least is working toward like matching Apple in terms of the like functionality and the continuity between like your phone and your computer and your laptop. But Apple just nailed that like so early on that I think that anything now, it's like, okay, how does everything will just be compared to Apple's ecosystem? Everything. Like there will not be another. I'm so sorry for the people at home. I don't think it's gonna be really conducive for anybody to really say that Apple didn't really set the trend early on. You know, I think it's really important that people pay respect to Steve Jobs because
Put your cover back on. This is the most crackhead podcast.
This is what happens when you disrespect me in front of our children. You mess with the bull, you get the fucking horns. Okay.
Yeah. Well, hey, that one kid who commented on like every Sandlerverse video.
Shout out. Hold on, I'm pulling his
Shout
shit
out.
up real quick. I gotta know.
Shout out to like Samster 750 or whatever your name
Yeah,
is.
it was something funny like that. Hold on, let me see my videos. Let me go to. I want to say it was the Billy Madison. That's right, Billy Madison. Let's see comments. DJ Waz. That was his name. Shout out DJ.
Waz.
Shout out DJ Waz.
Day one.
You are
DJ Waz.
DJ Waz. You are a day one Sandlerverse supporter. You're a Sandler head, and I appreciate you.
We stan the original Sandler head.
We stan the first recorded Sandler head in human history.
Were you
Thank
there
you.
for Mixed Nuts, DJ Waz?
He was.
I hope you weren't.
He was.
You was?
He was.
I'm
well,
so
let me
sorry.
see. Let me see. Let me see. Comments. No, he wasn't. I mean, he probably watched it, but he didn't comment. So
I mean, let's be honest. Mixed Nuts, pretty fucking awful.
mixed nuts, more like mixed bag. It wasn't good. It was a bad movie.
I think half of the end of that video is me just going like, "What the fuck is happening? Why
Literally,
am I watching this?"
the only comment on that video is a direct quote from you, which is, "What the fuck is going on? I'm angry." And this person said, "That's me. This whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
That was me, and that was you. This whole fucking movie."
And fucking, we could have skipped it. Adam Sandler shows up for like 20 minutes to go.
Literally, yeah.
That's all he fucking does.
You know what we should do? I should try and message DJ Waz and see if he wants to come on the show.
I would love like this kid on his iPad just being like, "I really loved Mixed Nuts, and it was really funny."
So, DJ, you're in 8th grade now. How's that going? Yeah. Got any
Yikes,
crushes?
Hear your parents arguing in the background there. Sorry, kiddo.
How's it going at home? I mean, I can hear some arguing going on in the background. I hear the dogs barking. What's going on?
I'm sure he's a great kid. He's probably getting A's in his class right now. A Sandler head, you know he's a smart guy.
100%. Genius.
100%.
Rad score
only-
Uncharted.
We only red score Uncharted. We only have top tier fucking Stephen Hawking level IQ geniuses that watch this shit.
I'm Steven and you're Hawking. Welcome to the podcast. Hire me. Hire me. I'm available.
What was I gonna say?
I don't care. I just like the idea of ending every like joke that you do that gets even one laugh. Just hire me. I'm available. Hire me.
So sensual the way you said it.
Hire me. I'm available.
You look like you're about to.
I'm available.
You look like you're just like eager to eat pussy or something right now. I can't describe it. The energy that you radiate.
Listen, I am famished.
It looks like you're down for oral and you don't care who it is.
Or what? Yeah, they call me John McAfee in bed because I don't care what it is.
Call me John McAfee. I killed a man.
They call me John
Didn't he kill
McAfee.
somebody?
I think so.
In like self-defense, supposedly?
Yeah, I honestly, it's funny. People don't talk about that at all. They talk about the fact that he was like,
He's an internet funny man.
he's an internet funny man, but also like the main reason he was being like sued or whatever the fuck it was because of like tax evasion. It wasn't even the fact that he killed somebody, which honestly rules. I wish.
Yeah, I remember like the documentary where he's like, I live in my apartment with 2 hookers that he like hired or something.
Yeah.
And he just has sex with all day and he's like running from the law and he carries a gun with him everywhere.
Yeah, because he's a fucking.
That man was a psycho.
Thank you. I mean, call back to when we. Thank you. When we did our tribute episode, I think that was episode 4.
Yeah,
something like that.
I literally don't remember anything that was said in that. You put a gun to my head. I could not tell you what happened in that episode.
I don't honestly. I don't remember. I'm looking at the thumbnails. I'm trying to get an idea for what episode it was. Definitely not Free Suck Machine. Why am I having so much trouble? Nah, okay, whatever.
Why don't we invest in Free Suck Machine?
We should be the like we together could be like the Elon Musk of suck machines.
We could. Think about it.
We could make the Tesla of suck machines.
A society in a permanent state of post-nut clarity.
But I feel like though the problem there is then we'd be just in endless war.
An endless war? No, it would open up their brains. They'd be like, "Whoa, dude, I'm gonna fucking
That's what I'm saying.
Somebody, dude."
No, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna open up the wrong people's brains to figure out new strategies to kill. Well, and also like
you think Putin's gonna be like, all right, let's nuke him. Like,
yes, that's what he
gonna
does
finish
already.
Nutting into the machine.
That's what he does already, but with humans. So
he has
I think,
Parkinson's now, right?
does
like,
he?
There's rumors that he's like shaking in public, so he's not seen anymore. He's like this.
If that's true, I haven't heard it. It's probably not true because I'm pretty sure you heard it on the internet. You read that on the internet.
Let's spread lies and rumors about Putin. Who's gonna stop us?
The Russian government? They're in Russia. Dumbass. What the fuck are they gonna do? Sail over here? No, I don't think so.
Slowly see a gun get pointed onto frame.
That reminds me of there's this really stupid fucking bit from The Office where they're doing knock knock jokes, and Michael approaches Jim and he's like, knock knock, and Jim's like, nah, I'm busy, and he's like okay, it's really important. He's like, yeah, I just got out of the shower, so it's gonna be a couple minutes, it's a whole routine, and he's like, okay, well, I'll just come back later, and then he like walks away, and then Jim turns around and he goes, knock knock. And Michael's like, what? Who's there? Or no, he's like, Dwight, answer. And Dwight's like, no, why do I have to answer? And he's like, just answer the door. So he's like, who's the? And Jim stands up and just smacks the shit out of Dwight. And he's like, KGB, we will ask the questions.
What?
It's a stupid fucking setup to a stupid joke. But the punchline is that Dwight is the one who gets slapped, and his face is like. After he says, KGB will ask the questions, he's like, it's true. They will ask the questions. So fucking dumb. I'm like, I just love rewatching random episodes of The Office, like while eating dinner, just because I'll remember.
It's your
like
whole personality trait. That's
it
how
is.
You met Shelby. You said you were like such a big Office head. Both of you.
I did. Yeah. She asked me to prom, and then at prom, I was like, oh, just really into the show The Office. You probably never heard of it.
She asked you to prom.
No, her friend did for her.
That's cute.
It wasn't cute. It wasn't because it wasn't like, I can look back on it now and I can be like, okay, that wasn't genuine, because her friend who asked me told me to ask my friend for her, like the friend who was asking me. She was like, hey, do you want to go with Shelby? And I was like, yeah, sure, okay. And then she was like, cool, now can you go ask Fox if he'll go with me? I was like, sure, can't guarantee anything. And then I went and asked like not even 5 minutes later. And I went over and I was like, hey, Fox, you want to go out with the prom with, I'm not going to say her name, but he was like, no. And I was just like, I was like, do you want me to give her her reason? And he was like, I mean, I'm already going with somebody. And I was like, duly noted, thank you. So I just turned around and went right back to her and I was like, yep. I already got a date, sorry, but I'm going with Shelby.
The start of your relationship with Shelby was a video game fetch quest. It was like a side quest.
It absolutely was. You're so right.
Kill 5 wolves. Your reward: prom with Shelby. You were the wolf hides you wanted.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a good way of putting it. That's exactly how it was.
That's what happened.
Yeah,
and did a fetch quest.
And then I parlayed that into a 9-year-long relationship.
That sounds sick, dude. I went to prom.
I'm good at what I do. Hire me. I'm available.
Shut the fuck up. My prom was on a boat and I couldn't escape it. I couldn't walk out of that prom. I had to stay for the entire prom because it was on a
I didn't
boat.
even know you went.
I did? Yeah, I went.
You seem like, and not to say that you wouldn't have found a date. You just seem like the type of person who just wouldn't go to a prom. Like that doesn't seem like it would.
It really
interest
was
you.
not my scene, for sure. It was definitely not my scene, and I was really above it, and I was like super cool the entire time I was there. And a couple people said I looked like Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII, and that my sword was really cool. And I said thank you.
Yeah.
So,
And then when I showed up, they said
there
I
was
looked like
there was a
they
point
said-
in the night.
Okay. No,
There
go
was a point in the night where I was on the deck of the ship and everyone was inside. Werewolves attacked. I had to take it into my own hands.
Yeah, and then vampires came out of the sky.
But I said, "You shall not step foot on this boat tonight." And I killed them all.
So I started speaking in perfect Latin today. Oh god, that was funny. God damn, that's so. Your prom was on a boat.
Yeah, my prom was on a boat.
That's actually sick, though. I wish like
It
mine was
would
at
have been. It would have been so much more sick. Infinitely more sick if
on dry
I-
land.
on dry land. Yeah. Let
I'm
me
not
tell
afraid
you,
of water.
not
I
all
just
the
think it would
crack
have been
on
way
the boat.
cooler if we did it in a building.
If-
Okay,
If
guys.
that boat sunk, I would be dead. I cannot swim at all.
Really, you're not
Can't
a
swim
you
at
can't
all.
swim?
I can't swim.
You
Not
just
swim.
like you just never learned, or like you have a fear of it, or what? Like
It's like everything. Like when I went to go swim when I was younger, I would stay in the shallows. And one time my sister pushed me into the deep end and I almost drowned.
that's probably it. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say
and-
that probably kicked it off.
Probably. I just sink every time I'm in water. I can't do it.
You can't close your eyes while you're in the
Maybe I
shower,
have-
or else you'll think you'll drown.
Stuff gets in my eye and I'm just dead. Like there's like 6 holes in the walls in my
Where
shower
you
'cause I
punch.
keep punching. I'm punching out of instinct.
Oh fuck. Oh man. That's goddamn. That's funny. Like I like to imagine. I like to imagine you punched through tile,
Yeah.
like ceramic tile, like hard as shit.
When I come back from my shower and I'm like, "Hey, what's up? What's going on?" And there's just bits
Cuts.
of tile and
There's
blood
cuts
and
all
cuts
over your
all down
arms.
my arm, yeah. I fought the shower. Long story short, it won. So
So I guess to address the elephant in the room, I had a fight in the shower with the shower, and it won.
with the shower,
It won. You guys
The
don't have to
water
worry
pressure
about
was
it. I'm
kicking my
okay.
ass.
The water pressure really gave me a one for my money.
One for my money.
Every time we do that voice, I
Oh,
think I
fuck.
like to think of that one TikTok of the bald dude who's like, "You're just Willy Pudding. Can I have your Instagram?"
Yeah. I
Oh,
love that guy.
I love
That
that guy.
guy's great.
That voice is so
Yeah.
funny. Fuck Gus Johnson. He didn't invent it.
You're way pretty.
He's
Yeah.
just you're so
Fuck Gus
pretty.
Johnson, yeah. It is a funny. When we get canceled, someone else can have it.
Mm-hmm.
When I inevitably.
So in 6 weeks from now,
6 weeks from now, when people find out that I've been murdering small
raping,
bros.
just raping. Just accuse you of fucking raping people.
I'm the Gold State rapist. I don't know if anyone knew this, but
Yeah, they call me the gold standard rapist.
they thought they
Sorry,
caught
that's
him.
terrible.
Yeah, the Gold Star rapist.
The gold star rapist. The
All of my victims said he was a 9 out of 10 at least.
Jesus fucking Christ. dude.
Sorry,
Oh fuck.
that's so awful. Now you can cancel me, I guess.
No,
for that
no,
bad
this is
joke.
grounds for cancellation, 100%.
It is funny when like a conservative guy on like Twitter is just like they them. What? Oh, you want me to call somebody like by multiple people, and then someone's like, hey, that joke's like not funny. And
right.
it's like it's not even that you like we're offended. It's just like it was kind of a shitty joke that people have been making for like years now.
Yeah.
You know.
Literally, it's like
And then
it's
the
like the
person's
attack
like-
helicopter joke.
Yeah, exactly. And then the person's like, "Uh-oh, am I getting canceled right now?" And it's like, "No, dipshit."
No, this is what we call light criticism, actually.
Yeah, this is what it's called, being criticized. Being canceled is like what's going to happen to you soon when they find out you're like a child molester.
Yeah, when they figure out you've been trafficking like 16-year-old
Yeah.
girls for the last 8 years. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I don't
Twitter's
know.
so fun.
Twitter is fun.
All it takes for somebody to get like fucking red pilled and radicalized to like be like just a conservative stew, just like having their comedy career go down the drain.
All it
It's
takes,
so funny.
all it took was one frog.
One frog.
One frog
The,
to grope them all.
No, like seriously, it'll be like somebody will pop off on like a podcast for like 3 months, get super successful, tour for a little bit, have like maybe one Netflix special or something, and then when they lose all of that, they're like, liberals.
the woke mob is after
the woke yeah, exactly. And then they're like, I'm trying to be, I get put down by the what? This is not a new observation in any capacity, by the way.
No.
But it is
No.
funny how like every Netflix special is like, you can't say this, and it's like the 17th special that guy has done with like caution tape over their mouth, and it's like
Exactly.
they don't want him to say it, and it's like,
This is what the system fears most. It'll be-
oh, you got 6 Netflix specials because no one wanted to hear you say it.
Actually, it's funny now that like that would actually be a great tagline or like name for a special for like a black conservative guy doing a stand-up special, and he's doing like anti-woke shit or whatever. But it's like the title of the special is literally called like "What the System Fears Most," and it's like a black guy who has like a Confederate flag hat, and he's like, I think the South should have won. And it's like,
it was about states' rights.
it was about. Now, we can all agree in this room, right? And there's some cheers, and he's like, thank you. We can all agree in this room, right, as real Americans, that it was about states' rights. And then just the place fucking erupts.
That would totally be a bit by
Eric Andre.
what's that one guy? Eric Andre would probably do that. What's the other guy?
He's like the first one to come to mind to do that type of shit. Is he a comedian? Who are you thinking of? Say his name so I can get an idea. Say his first and last name. Spell it out actually, so I can think of who you're talking
Well,
about.
I don't know his name.
That's so. Welcome to explaining the joke. So the joke
I
there was
died. That you don't have to then do that level of shut the fuck up. Yeah. Threaten you with physical violence. It's an
Over the
abusive
internet.
podcast. Fuck, piece of shit.
Fuck.
Don't ever do that to me ever again. Unfucking believable.
I wish that I had enough
I'm
space.
gonna grab you by the throat.
I wish I had. I wish I had enough space.
Look at me, you piece of shit.
I wish I had enough space
Alright,
behind
sorry.
me, so that I could do that bit and actually like rock it out of my chair. Like you pump at me, and then I'm just like fully back
You
on
felt
my
like
ass.
You jump out of your fucking chair.
Yeah.
I could jump onto my bed.
You could, but that's less like me falling onto hardwood is way funnier, honestly.
It's way funnier, especially if your chair falls and then makes funny ha loud noise.
Yeah, and you
the
see
same
maybe
time.
like a piece of it fly off that because it's broken
Yeah.
now because I broke
And then
it.
you just see feet fly up. That would be
And-
viral meme in an instant.
That would be so funny, and then you see the kilt that I'm wearing with no underwear on.
Oh, shout out
Fellas.
to that video. Shout out to that video of the guy like, you want to see me dunk?
Yes, that is such
I
a
was
funny
thinking-
fucking video.
I just made me think of that. I don't know
God.
who that guy is.
I want to know.
The
I need.
commitment to full body diving across his room
Oh,
is
Oh yeah.
is
100%.
admirable.
100%. God damn. Oh, side note. This is probably something to discuss off of the podcast. However, I'm gonna discuss it now.
You can
I'm
see sweat. Ugh.
yeah. That's why
Apologize.
That's why I haven't like lifted my arms up too high.
I fucking hate summer. I
Yeah.
despise this goddamn season.
I have the AC on. It's so okay. Real quick, for some reason, and I have yet to figure out how to change it back, but it's in Celsius right now instead of just displaying it normally like it should in Fahrenheit. The correct
The invasion
numbers.
has started.
Exactly.
Europe is coming.
Now, it's at a solid 20 C, which is just under 70. I think it's like 68. So it feels nice, but the thing is, like, I'm so close to it that now when I get up from my seat and go somewhere else, the rest of the apartment feels like too warm. But it's simply just
Hot
from
as
being
shit, yeah.
blasted with cold air.
I mean, like that's the same thing with like this room. Fucking
Once-
as soon as
yeah.
I leave it, it like goes up 10 degrees outside. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I mean, I personally haven't experienced it because I don't even think I've been in your room during the summer. I think every time I've been over has been in the fall or the
Like
winter.
October, winter. Yeah.
But I can almost guarantee you that it's at least a 15, maybe even 20 degrees difference because you are on the second floor. Plus,
I'm on the second floor.
the AC is only affecting that one room. So
Yeah. It's fucking dude.
I just cough. Like, did you
It
heard
gets
that
so-
cough a second ago? Sorry to cut you off, but real quick, that cough a second ago. I'm like still seeing stars after that.
It
So
like knocked the air out of you.
it did. I was trying to
You
get
gotta
something
stop
out of my.
smoking weed. Your lungs aren't getting enough oxygen.
I was trying to get some. There's a little bit of phlegm in there, and I wanted to get it out. Anyways, proceed as you were.
I don't know what I was gonna say. You're gonna be up here probably soon.
Less than a
I
week.
imagine you're gonna visit, and you're probably gonna be in my room, and we're probably gonna have raw dog sex on my bed.
And I mean, to be fair though,
100%.
for the listeners at home, we when we do that, normally we don't have the AC on because it's cold. But I feel like just so we can say that we know what it's like, just to say we've experienced it, I think we're going to do it with the AC off this time as well. Just
For sure, we're definitely gonna do it with the AC on.
first time around at least.
I think this might be the first time I've had an AC on while I get my back blown out.
Well, I mean,
While taking back shots.
like you said though, that
Some
This-
demons came and gave me back shots, but I beat them off.
the demons came inside me, but I beat them off.
Shout out to that guy. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that
Shout out
shit
to
so
that
much.
guy. Hold on. I want to shout out. No one's. Listen, even if it gets him one follower, I want to shout him out.
Absolutely.
I love this dude on TikTok so much. All
Let
of
me
his videos are just like.
Find
him-
his at. But while you do that, I'm gonna finish saying what I was gonna say
Yeah,
about
go ahead.
some off the pod business that has turned into on the pod business. I messaged
Radical
Cave
140.
Radical 140. Thank you.
Radical 140.
Also,
Radical _140. You're funny.
also
Really like your TikToks.
shout out Dimension 7 Yo, but only because he threatened to shoot up an elementary school.
Yeah, that's right. I was trying to remember who that was, and then I remembered.
Yeah.
It's
Yes. But
here.
it's here. John Cena. Anyways, I DM'd Cave. He's in New York now. He finally moved. He got his shit and he went. So proud of the Who Up boys. They're finally making moves over in the Big Apple. I messaged him to see if they want to do a podcast next week, a little crossover. All five of us, you, me, and them three. He hasn't gotten back to me yet. I know him and Clay were posting about being like out. They posted like 30 pictures of them on the train together. So I'm guessing they're probably actually
Aw.
busy, but
Isn't that sweet?
it's so cute. But
So
yeah,
cute.
I'm hoping that we can get that lined
What are
up
you
for
doing on the
sometime next week.
train?
Nothing. It's nothing. It's fine.
Kissing, fucking, smooching.
Yeah. But for that, that's going to be hard to do because we're going to have to get all three of them in one shot, which, I mean, I think you've seen a picture of Chris. Even getting him in one shot is kind of difficult, but he's a biggin. Like, he's a biggin. Let me tell you, that boy is, I want to say, like 5'8", and he's a solid 400. Like, and that's not, I'm not talking shit about him. Chris is a funny dude, very cool dude. He just happens to be very large.
Objectively talking shit about him.
I'm not. I just said that he's a biggin. No, I'm a biggin. I'm just a biggin in a different way.
Have I seen a picture? I think I have.
You probably have. If not,
I
I'll just send it. I'll just send you one at some point. Not right now, though. I don't feel like it. So, anyways, yeah. I think it'd be fun to get all of them on. I keep fucking forgetting to message Chris whenever we do. Yeah, it's really hard to get a hold of him. I think he's in hell now. But
No,
just kidding. He's in heaven.
For sure, he's in heaven.
He's in heaven.
Yeah.
He's absolutely in
He's in
heaven.
heaven for
There's
sure.
not even a shadow of a doubt.
Not even a shadow of a doubt. Devout
Dude.
man, great father.
Great father, best father ever. Actually, speaking of,
Loving husband.
I'm actually so glad that you brought up Chris Benoit for a very funny reason. I was watching. I was in a YouTube rabbit hole, and usually when I go down rabbit holes, it's not like I follow one subject. I just like click on like video after video, and they just take me like different places. I don't necessarily care too much to like sit and watch videos on one subject for like an extended period of time. I know that's what you
ADHD.
prefer to do.
Sometimes.
Well, I mean, when you say you go down a rabbit hole, you will literally like focus in on one thing for like a few hours.
Yeah, there's true. I definitely have a tendency to like just fall into a groove where I'll like keep picking up suggested videos, and then I'll pick up like different lines of relations between YouTubers, and then I'll just fall down the rabbit hole.
Right.
If you ever want to fall down just the most bizarre, funny rabbit hole ever, look at Gotcha Life videos on YouTube.
Yeah. Those are crazy.
It's so interesting.
But-
so interesting.
That being said, the rabbit hole that I was on at where it took me at one point was I got recommended a shoot interview for wrestling. For our wrestling fans, you know what that is. If you're not a wrestling fan, a shoot interview is when a pro wrestler is out of character and just answers questions honestly about typically the business or stuff that like their career or people that they interacted with, whatever it might be.
Does WWE allow them to do that?
It depends. Some wrestlers, they'll be a little bit more
Flippant.
yeah, like they obviously like they'll let, even though technically he's under like a lifetime contract, John Cena, just because of his like name, you know what I mean? Like
incredible star power.
Right, exactly. So John Cena now, he can go on like he can be interviewed by Chris Van Vliet on YouTube, who's one of the biggest wrestling interviewers on YouTube, and have like an extended conversation where he will answer very honestly about things. And you know, John Cena is John Cena. He will give you like media. He's going to give a lot of media answers. He's a fucking robot. The dude's a robot. Like they put the USB in the back of his head. It loads the script for that press junket, and then he just goes.
That's how he learned Mandarin.
It's exactly how they learned Mandarin.
They like they just put like Rosetta Stone into the back of his head until he learned.
Well, because Mandarin is such a more like, there's so many more mechanisms and just like moving parts within that language. They needed an HDMI port, but they made it work.
Yeah.
But anyways, to answer your question, there's a very small handful of wrestlers who are still like contracted under WWE. The Undertaker, for example, can go and say whatever the fuck he wants now.
Yeah.
But that's also
like
after the career
Rock.
he's had. The Rock, Stone Cold,
you have to be
Hulk
like,
Hogan, you know.
You have to be humongous names for them to just like unshackle you.
You kind of
become full power.
Oh, Randy Orton too. Like anybody who's been with the company over 20 years has free reign to basically say anything unless you're Triple H. He's like the only one who because of his standing in the company, has not been able to like honestly talk about anything for years. But anyways,
have that one interview.
he did have that
Go
one. I got down this. I got to the shoot interview with Hornswoggle, who was the again, for those who don't know, he played a leprechaun when he was with WWE.
Might guess why.
Picture what a leprechaun looks like in your head, and then picture the type of person to play a leprechaun in your head, and then that's what you got.
Very classy.
Yeah, it's a very diplomatic way of saying. I wasn't gonna say it. No. No.
Don't speak it. Don't say it. Don't speak it. Don't say it.
Don't think it. Don't say it. Don't think it. Don't say it. But yeah, so he's doing an interview with this guy, and this
My brain's
series.
freezing up. I'm only thinking of slurs. Can't think of a single normal word.
Is it more than 4 letters? I can't think of it. Fuck. But yeah, anyways, so he's doing the shooter interview, and to be fair, this like interviewer and the series that they're doing is known for being really sleazy. They ask a lot of sleazy questions. There's a segment where they'll ask of all the women that they've worked with, all the wrestlers, they'll ask who sleeps around and who doesn't. Literally, like I forget the name of it, but it's like, is she a hoe or is she not a hoe or some dumb shit like that. And they'll like the guy will just list off like, oh fucking Trish Stratus, Kelly, Mickey James, and then they'll be like, oh she's a hoe, dude, she's a hoe, oh fuck the whole locker room or whatever the fuck. But this one in particular was very
double standards.
Exactly. But well, to be fair, they also had a segment called Is He a Dick, where they would talk about male wrestlers and whether or not they were actually like good people to work with, or if they were pieces of shit that were impossible to work with. It's not the same. You're right. It's not the same. You can't compare the two.
It's not the same.
But at least they're not like, I will say, if I am going to throw them a bone in any way, it's, hey, at least they're not just having this one weird segment where they're like, now what about the bitches, you know? Like what about the broads? But they're
how much do they fling their pussy around?
So I have a list of women wrestlers here from when you were in the company, and I just wanted to know who. So out of all these,
Who would
squirt
check
or
me
not?
off?
so squirter or not a squirter?
Would
But,
you still be friends with me if I was a total white knight, where I'd be like, dude, don't talk about them like that? No, they're people, dog.
If you couldn't, if you genuinely could not discern between like making fun of somebody who's that type of person and actually being that person, then no, we could not be friends. I can't do that shit. That's so fucking.
You're not gonna get pussy. Shut up.
Every night I have to end it with, yeah, she's not gonna see this. She's not gonna fuck you. Have a good night. And you're like,
Dude,
she
what'd you
definitely
fucking say,
will.
dude? Is she a hoe or not? Fucking, that could have been you, dude.
Fuck. Shit, dude. I told you to stop doing that. Okay. Anyways,
anyways,
so this interview is way more serious than normal because they're talking about Chris Benoit, who you know who Chris. If you don't know who Chris Benoit is, you just gotta fucking Google it. Rest in peace to the fucking king. But the interviewer asked Hornswoggle about Chris Benoit because apparently they had worked together and they had known each other backstage. I mean, in what world necessarily? Never mind. I was gonna say, in what world would you see a wrestler like Chris Benoit wrestle someone like Hornswoggle? And then I realized the company they were working for would have definitely made that happen.
Done that. Yeah.
And definitely did make that happen on a couple of occasions. But essentially, they were just like, you know, the real question was, do you think he did it? And he just steadfast, no. He does not believe that Chris was capable of doing something like that. He thinks that He thinks it was like a murder. He thinks that it was a B&E. Somebody murdered them. Yeah, but not in the sense that like they wanted to steal, or they saw like a nice house and they broke in and they wanted to steal their shit. Like they knew who it was and they wanted him dead. Yeah, exactly. Like whoever it was had something against him. And in the you remember like the Dark Side of the Ring episode, everyone was saying how in the last like couple weeks he was acting super paranoid and weird, thinking that like he kept saying like, we gotta,
probably because his brain had holes in it.
Yeah, 100%. But at the same time, it's like if you take what Hornswoggle said and then what everybody else was saying about his behavior leading up to it, it's like it makes sense. But at the same time, you got to really think like, okay, what's the like the real the odds of this fucking pro wrestler just some random person being like, I need Chris Benoit dead. Except except for Kevin Sullivan. He's the only person on this planet who had any reason to want Chris Benoit dead, and even then,
it could have been. It could have. Let's follow the thread that it was like a murder. A man in the public eye like that. It could have been anybody. Think about like the Bjork stalker or something, right?
Yeah, or like
you would think like
John
the
Hinckley
Bjork
Jr.
stalker
even
had like connection to Bjork. No, it was just some guy that was obsessed with her. You know, or the
John
guy
Hinckley
that
Jr.
Who was that?
Or he shot Reagan to get to
yeah, and he was just released recently.
He was just released. What was her name? She was in Silence of the Lambs. Jodie Foster.
Was it for Jodie Foster?
He wanted Jodie Foster, and
it is
thought
so
that was going to
funny
work.
Seeing people on like Twitter and Reddit be like, "Shout out to him! You know, he really almost took down the shitty president and da da da." And it's like, no, he was not okay. He didn't do it because he was XD based.
Right.
He did it because he was like,
he was
schizophrenic.
definitely not XD black pilled Ubermensch.
Yeah.
Like he fucking definitely,
yeah.
he definitely fucking had voices in his head telling him to do things that he should not have been doing.
100%.
Now, luckily, though,
who
I will
shot-
say,
was it John Lennon?
John Wilkes Booth. Just kidding. That's Abraham Lincoln. No, Lee Harvey Oswald killed Lennon.
That was Lee Harvey Oswald?
Yes.
That was for JFK.
John Lennon.
You're right. The CIA killed JFK.
Thank
And
you.
They said it was Lee Harvey Oswald.
It was Mark David Chapman. That's who it was. Famously,
For John Lennon?
yes, for John Lennon. Famously portrayed by Jared Leto in the biopic about it. Biopic? I call it biopic. I don't give a shit. About Chapman.
I say
Mark David
biopic
Chapman.
too.
I don't. It doesn't matter.
Biopic
I don't.
sounds fucking weird to me.
Who gives a shit? Honestly, words are stupid. But yeah, Jared Leto played Mark David Chapman, and he gained like over 50 pounds to play the role. And I remember reading about it because he, did an interview for it, and somebody asked him like, "Oh, how did you prepare for the role? Like, what did you do?" And he was like, what did he say? I ate a bunch of melted vegan ice cream. and on top of
Wait,
whatever.
which actor was this? I'm sorry.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. Thank you.
Jared Leto. So look at Mark David Chapman. Look at his mugshot, his face, and then imagine Jared Leto trying to look like that. And then also look up Jared Leto in costume, because it really looks just like him. Like they really did a good job of making him look like him. Didn't use a fat suit.
Jared Leto.
Didn't use a fat suit. He actually gained the weight for the role, which was, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah. Wow.
Mac.
It looks very good.
Mac from It's Always Sunny.
He kind of looks like Elton John.
He does. You're right. I had that thought when I looked at his picture. I was like, it's definitely the haircut and the glasses that really like seal it, and
I feel
the
like
double chin.
jawline, too.
It's the second chin for sure.
Be nice.
No, hey, whoa, oh, no disrespect
Be
to the
nice
fucking
to
king
the
of the.
Rocket Man.
No fucking disrespect to the king of the gays here. All right.
The king.
Listen, I love and respect Sir Elton John. Okay.
Sir Elton John, get the name right.
Or should I say, Madame Elton John? I don't know. There's a lot of things about this culture I'm not familiar with.
It's confused but supportive.
Listen, I'm just doing my best. Now who's gonna come over here? Fuck my ass. Sorry.
All right. He does look like him though. Has Jared Leto been? Is that a good movie? Has Jared Leto been in good movies?
I haven't
What's a good
seen that
movie
one.
Jared Leto's been in.
Mr. Nobody. That is
Mr.
actually
Nobody.
Mr. Nobody's a good movie. I will like
Requiem
as much
for a
as
Dream.
Requiem for a Dream is such a good movie, but it's
Never
one of
seen
those ones like you
I
can't
know it's good.
you can't like rewatch it that much. It's one of those movies that's so fucking depressing. Like
It's like no one pops in Schindler's List, but it's important to watch.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No one's like, let's just, like, oh, what would you like to watch today? Like,
Oh, To Kill a Mockingbird. Like, no, nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
What? So
Fahrenheit
we actually
451.
put a poll up on the straw poll for the class today. What movie we're gonna watch? We did have a custom entry. Seems like a lot of people didn't want to watch what we put up on the board, but Pride and Prejudice won. I don't know why third graders would want to watch Pride and Prejudice, but we're gonna watch it.
Pride and Prejudice just about like what is it about though? Is it about
I don't
something
fucking
messed up?
know. I
know
have
it's
no
important.
clue. I have never read the book and I've never seen the movie, and I honestly don't care to.
Pride and Prejudice.
I'm gonna in post. I'm gonna have like over my face. It's gonna be like direct quote: "White man Stephen Chin."
Oh, it's about someone eloping with
a black
somebody that
person.
What?
Isn't Pride and Prejudice a race thing? Like, isn't that?
I don't think so. All the trailers are showing like two conventionally attractive white people kissing.
Oh, I always thought
Keira
Pride and
Knightley
Prejudice
and
was
some
about
other
like.
motherfucker.
I thought it was always about like segregation or something.
No, it's about. Let's see. Hold on. Keira Knightley, whoever she plays, Elizabeth, lives with her mother and father and sisters in the English countryside. As the eldest, she faces mounting pressure from her parents to marry. When the outspoken Elizabeth is introduced to the handsome and upper-class Mr. Darcy,
Ooh.
sparks fly. Although
Sparks.
there is obvious chemistry between the two, Darcy overly reserved nature threatens the fledgling relationship. That's what
Ooh.
it's about.
Ooh.
So
I'm
it's-
scared.
I'm sure it's an important book and an empowering book, or
Yeah.
but it doesn't seem like one that was like banned by classes or something.
Which honestly, like
Mouse. Or
the
whatever
books
they're
that
called,
get banned are the ones that like.
that people fucking read.
And that- And I don't want to say that they're the ones that matter, but it's like those are the ones that like.
They are the ones that matter.
Well, they're the ones that
Think
like
about
scared
who's banning
people.
them for which reason.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like they're the ones that scared people. Like they're the ones that made people in power go like, okay, people can't read this fictionalized story that is very clearly about World War I. We cannot let them read this, or else they will know the perils of war.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like you're really gonna ban like people from buying To Kill a Mockingbird, but they'll still sell like Mein Kampf across the country. Like, well, it's kind of important to. And it's like,
Well, it's well, it's kind of important that we well, it's kind of important that we
I don't even know if they should ban any book. It's
Yeah.
kind of an interesting question.
Well,
Or,
I
like,
mean,
any piece of media like that. Like even if it's something that like is irreprehensibly terrible, just like Mein Kampf, like reading it and it's just like clearly like this
Propaganda.
propaganda to like prop up some kind of like hate and prejudice against certain groups.
right.
The fact that it's like out there, like how many people after World War II did Mein Kampf reach and like make Nazis? I don't feel like a significant amount. I feel like other avenues are what brought people into being radicalized.
Yeah, I was gonna
Right.
say it definitely wasn't the starting point, but it definitely it definitely does help people in that sphere of like
Yeah.
not necessarily
So-
discovering their Nazism, but like furthering that. You know what I mean? Like they're introduced
So
to
what-
it by something, and then eventually they get to Mein Kampf because they're like, oh, Hitler was a real guy and not just a name. Okay, and then they read it,
but I
and
feel
then
like- Is it being around like important to show what this kind of propaganda looks like?
I don't think
Just to have it. If you were to sell a copy, should it also come with a reader's guide to not being radicalized by the book or something?
no, because I don't think people who are picking it up like
For altruistic means.
So, let me read about this Adolf Hitler guy. Like nobody,
Yeah.
like I think at least in America, like we know who he was at such a young age that by the time we get to the point where we're like seeking out literature on these things. We're not like, maybe we should give his ideas another pass. Let's just make sure. Let's just make sure that the Holocaust wasn't exactly a bad idea, but it was just executed poorly. Like,
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, if you bring up the subject of being like if tomorrow they were like, let's ban Mein Kampf, I wouldn't be like, no, it's important to have like
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry from a balcony. I'm gonna be like, okay,
yeah,
that's
Yeah.
probably a good idea.
yeah.
You
literally.
know, one of those things. Like, I'm debating it in my head, like whether or not the access to that information should be around just for like posterity's sake. But at the same time, it's like, if it hurts more people than it helps, get rid of it.
Yes, exactly.
And if they did it tomorrow, I would be like, okay, that's fine.
Mm.
And it would especially be funny to see all the people on Twitter that just mask off.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like 100%, just like,
As literature, it's
and it's like, what are
And
you
it's-
actually
it's
talking
and it's
about?
always it's going to be the exact same people who are like, we should not let children read the Communist
Yeah.
Manifesto. Like,
It's gonna be like the quartering. The
Oh,
quartering is
yes.
gonna come out, and he's gonna be like, the fuck, I don't know.
I
Who
don't think
else?
it's funny you say
Sargon
that.
of Akkad.
It's funny that you said that. You said that it would be like them going mask off. When's the last
Yeah.
time that the Quartering or Sargon had the mask on? Is my question.
I know, right? Well, this is gonna be like one of those things. It's definitely. I popped into a stream that Sargon of Akkad was doing just because I was astonished he still uploads.
Mhm.
And in the background of his thing, it's like, and this is not indicative of like somebody that is like a white supremacist, but it's definitely signs.
Yeah.
He just had like a bunch of crusade stuff.
Yeah, he does.
And
I've
like-
seen that.
And
I
like
have seen that.
kite shields and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're either a history buff
Or
you're
a Nazi.
racist.
Like,
Yeah,
literally.
you're a Nazi.
And
The
I
two things.
will say this now. Those two
You
things
could be both.
are not mutually exclusive in any
Yeah,
way.
you could
a
definitely.
lot of
be
the
both.
times, and I'm not naming names, but I feel like a lot of people that I've met in my personal life who are history buffs that happen to be white guys, it's at that point it's pretty much a very thin veil. I'm kind of not buying
the
it
thing.
anymore, and it's not. I'm not talking about you. I know, and I need to
no,
clarify.
no, of
I'm not
course, I
talking
know,
because I know you're not a history buff either necessarily. Like, you don't sit and you're like,
I
oh,
like
it's just
history,
really.
But I won't.
You don't talk about the fucking Crusades like they happened yesterday.
Right.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
here's the thing. People that say they're a history buff, but they look at like a handful of subjects, they're like disingenuous history buffs. All right.
Yeah.
Because like, if the only
Real
thing
history
you know
heads actually
you
care
know-
about the 1500s. Okay.
yeah, it's well, I'm just saying like somebody will be like, I'm a real history buff. Oh, what do you know about? And they can name like every Nazi tank
World
and
War
like
II.
what happened during the Crusades.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's it.
Right.
And it's like, are you though?
Yeah.
Like, or are you like, do you just like watching videos of Nazis marching and putting
Right.
little Dark Age over it?
And fucking making fan cams of Nazi
Making
marches.
fan cams of history. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of those things where like,
Or like, and Rome.
yeah,
Rome's interesting though, but like you
Yeah.
can't say it was like cool.
it's funny the camp that is very much into like World War I or like the Crusades or Rome or something. Like they look to those time periods and those cultures or whatever, and they look at that and like, those are strong men. Those were productive societies. They the culture was it's how it should have been, like, and it always of course features like women were in the house raising the kids and the men were in the fields and all that dumb shit.
Closer to like a nuclear family or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like they project the nuclear family onto that. But
Mhm.
what I was gonna say, where I was going with that was, it's funny then that they'll suck the shit off of Rome, and then they'll turn around and be like, Greece was full of homos and pedophiles, and
pedophiles?
they liked to fuck kids in their asses. And it's like, Rome invented that. What the fuck are you talking about? How
Rome came
stupid.
after,
Rome.
but I know what you're
True,
talking about.
but they did. Yeah, no, you're right. I was wrong. They
I
didn't
get what
invent
you're
it. They refined it.
They industrialized.
They
pedophilia.
industrialized pedophilia, and they ran with it. But like, you can't just be like, oh yeah, Greece is for the homos. That's where the gays came from. It's like, okay, what did they spawn? Oh, the thing you idolize, you fucking moron. Like, it's so stupid.
Here's the thing is like, it's just like, it's like famous examples of imperialism through history is like what people latch onto, what those kinds of people latch onto. Shows of power, shows of like traditional like masculinity, shows of like trad, beliefs and trad ideas of relationships and power dynamics and shit like that. And that's like what people, want, Yeah. They like to think of themselves as like a Roman centurion when they're really like 300 pounds.
Right, exactly.
And yeah. They're like,
I'm
part of the master race, but they can't get any pussy.
I like the brand of guy who thinks they would have been perfect in the Trojan horse, but wouldn't have fit in the Trojan horse.
Yeah.
Those guys
That
rule.
is pretty funny.
Those guys
like
rule.
the kind of guy that like has never been in a fight in his life and cries when he stubs his toe and thinks that he could like go to war.
The guy that, same setup, but the guy who thinks that he could actually win in an MMA fight.
Yeah.
Like the guy who gets on Twitter and is like, "Oh, fucking Khabib really fucked that one up, man. I would have landed that." It's like, no, you would have landed a Baconator in your mouth, actually. But but here we are, and you are still on your phone instead of in the fucking octagon, pussy.
Yeah. Those kinds of guys. And
imagine a pussy, but it's an
like,
octagon. I'm sorry, I had to.
I feel like I respect the fedora wearing, samurai wielding, neckbeard white guy so much more than I respect like the black pilled like
Doomer.
AR-15 doomer gun toting white guy. You know what I mean?
400-pound white guy, yeah.
Yeah, like I respect the sword anime wielding one so much more because they're so much less harmless. You know what I'm saying? They're so much more harmless.
Yeah.
They're just like doing their own thing. They're in their corner. They're probably like incels and they have like a warped idea of like relationships and stuff. But overall, I feel like the odds that they're going to hurt somebody in their lifetime are infinitely less than the guy that is like a Nazi. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Like let the otaku have this cool idea of Japan and love anime and make funny videos in his backyard of him unboxing katanas and cutting things with them. Because that kind of white guy is going to go on to do like just
nothing.
He's not going to do anything to anybody, you know?
That is to say, until there's like two things that could happen that would prompt him to actually hurt somebody, which is, like in an invasion, obviously, if like his home invasion, he's got an arsenal, so it's fine.
He's got an arsenal. He's got a katana.
And then the other thing that would like
sword.
The other thing that would like set him off, unfortunately, which is not justifiable, is like when his girlfriend, accidentally sends him the wrong message, calls him the wrong username.
Yeah.
Like doesn't call him like XX Dark Lord Slayer XX, instead calls him like I don't know, fucking Dragon Slayer fucking otaku. I don't know.
Do they even have like the capacity to be physically abusive though? It would just be like emotionally and verbally. And
no,
it's
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
That's
is like
not cool.
No, what I'm saying
that's
is
not cool.
Listen, what I'm saying.
I don't feel like they'll hurt somebody.
What I'm saying is that it's not that he would hurt the e-girl GF. I'm saying that would be what sets him off to hurt other people.
Hurt other people to take his katana to the mall.
He would take his no, because this guy clearly like lives in an apartment building. He would like in the sheath. He would go down the elevator because the stairs are out of the question. He would go outside. He would just find the first person to walk by and just like right in. Just unsheath and
ever been a recorded like katana attack from someone that was like fucking don't come to school tomorrow, I'm bringing my katana?
I'm sure. Well, I mean, technically no, technically yes. There was a kid I went to school with who brought a very long knife to school, but he didn't hurt anybody. It wasn't even like a threat. He just brought it and was like, "Yo, check this out." He got expelled immediately. First week of freshman year of high school. It was so funny.
What a dumbass.
Yeah.
Oh, that I told you about that kid that was like in freshman and would go
He asked for a hug, didn't he?
to what?
My mind jumped to the kid in your Japanese class who asked the teacher for a hug.
It was like a junior year.
That's
junior
so
or
sad.
senior year.
That is the worst
Junior,
time.
senior year. of high
Sophomore
school.
year is the cutoff for asking your teacher for a hug. I'm sorry.
No, it was not a teacher. It was Japanese exchange students.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. He wanted a hug from all of them.
He wanted a hug from like any of the Japanese exchange student girl. What? Fucking focus.
There you go.
Blurry. There we go. So rough.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's bad.
I was covering my face because I was like, oh, if someone's recording right now, I'm in a cringe video.
Yeah. And you want to make them you want it to be very clear that if the person watching doesn't have sound on, that this is what's happening. You're cringing. This is bad.
Yeah,
What's happening
I
around
want-
you is not good.
Either that or I want them to know that like physically it's like it was a defense mechanism for me doing this was like a defense mechanism to let them know I did not consent.
Yeah.
I was like
I don't
I'm not
condone, I don't consent,
consenting.
I don't agree, I
condone.
don't.
I'm so glad I'm not in high school anymore, even though you know me as like someone who would regularly consume cringe. And
Yes.
still like sometimes I'll have my binges where I'll be like, okay, I'll withstand some cringe today.
What's going on r/cringe tonight?
Even though like I'm like that, let me tell you, every day that I was like in high school and something awful would happen and I would just have to be like
Right.
so bad. I never want to feel that feeling ever again. I'm so glad I'm not in high school so I don't have to see the guy that was like in a 10-gallon hat and thought he was a cowboy every day.
I wish I knew a guy like that in high school.
I did.
Ah, man, I wish I knew that guy. That's so
I
fucking
did.
awesome.
I know.
Ah,
And
that's
like
great.
now I can step outside of myself enough to be like just kind of fascinated by this like side of humanity and like get to know the person.
Right.
But like as a teenager, I definitely was more like oh, look at that guy over there. Like, you know, and that's like a shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
I
I'm
mean,
not that guy
That's
anymore.
but I feel like that's a teenager thing to do regardless.
It's a teenager thing to do 100%. I know people now that like I know people now that I would consider so bizarre back in high school, and they're just like like I just want to know them as people now, and they're interesting, fun, and nice people. They're
Yeah.
just weird,
Right.
And I'm weird, so I don't think it's
This
like
is true.
that weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Hey, thank you for listening.
Of course. I do actually have to go
that-
switch my laundry out, so this is a good
I was saying
place to end it.
I more of a prompt for like the fact that we've been recording for an hour and a half.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's
It got silly in XD, and then it got a little serious.
it got a little too serious there at the end. So let's circle back around. One thing we all can agree on: pedophilia is bad.
Fuck pedophilia. Fuck Nazis.
Fuck
Let's just
Nazis.
come
Fuck
back to the center.
pedophiles. If you're
I don't think
racist,
we
kill
ever-
yourself.
I don't think we were ever not on the same page during this podcast.
Exactly.
But we'll come back to the center regardless. So just agree upon universally agreed upon concepts. If you
I
want to
would-
fight in the comment section,
That's up to you. I
up
mean,
to you,
don't.
and we'll
but-
know where you lie after
Exactly.
you do that.
and if for some reason like you disagree with us after we've circled back and we've gotten on the same page, if you're not on the same page with us, comment below on YouTube specifically, and let us know that you don't agree with us, and have fun watching future episodes, bitch, because you'll be blocked on every platform.
Bitch.
We'll make sure of it. You're never going to listen to this podcast again. Guess what? We're going to start a Patreon. No one's going to buy it, but we're going to price it so high that you can't even buy it. And if you decide, hey, guess what? I am going to buy it. We're going to
What-
double it,
what-
and we're going to call that the racist tier.
Yeah, was it Cumtown
That's
that did that,
Cumtown,
or
yeah.
who was it? Was like the Cumtown
Nazi.
one was like the Nazi tier.
Nazi
like you
tier,
can
yeah.
watch if you're a Nazi, but you have to buy this tier so we don't feel bad.
And it's like 3 times more expensive than their base one. Yeah. God,
How many people unironically subscribe to the Nazi tier?
probably a lot. I mean,
Too many.
yeah, just too many. They make like $100,000 a month. It's stupid.
It's so stupid, dude.
It's
Give
so
us
stupid.
$100,000 and we'll do cocaine.
You know, they get $100,000 a month to do, eight hours of content a month. 2 episodes a week, thereabouts. Sometimes 10 if there's an extra Wednesday or Sunday, whatever, an extra week. Give us $100,000 once.
Just one time.
You won't get.
50,000 each.
You won't
You'll
get.
never see us again.
You won't get anything in return. I promise you that. So, DM me if you're interested. I will definitely be fielding responses. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us today. We've been going for a while, and I know you're busy. I'm busy. We're busy guys. You have lunch to go have. I have laundry to go switch out. But yeah,
I'm
next
gonna
time
go
you see
get
us,
lunch.
go get that motherfucking lunch. Next time you see us, we will be in the same room together.
Yeah.
This time, I promise.
can't wait.
This time, I promise, I'm going to actually film it properly, and we won't lose it. And yeah,
Every
and next
time we filmed in person, I think you've been like, there was a problem.
no, it was just that one time.
No, it was also at Nick's house.
That was an audio problem. That wasn't the video
But
was
there
fine.
was a problem, wasn't there?
Okay, listen, we're not getting into fucking pedantics here, all right? Jesus fucking Christ. It's every day with this fucking guy. Anyways, I do want to end on a suggestion. This is from me to both of us, actually. I think for the next episode, especially for the episode or any of the episodes, because I do want to do multiple episodes while I'm in town. For any of those episodes, one of those episodes should be us having an actual disagreement, and that be the episode. We talk about something that we actually don't agree on. And neither of us actually debate correctly. So that would be
Do I want to do that though?
Yes,
'Cause,
absolutely.
I mean, we don't talk about it much, but you are a pedophile. So, but
and we don't talk
when
about
we
it much
discuss
either,
these
but
things-
you are actually a convicted rapist. So I mean, if we're throwing around, our past or anything, if we want to be plumbers over here and start bringing up old shit, then we can absolutely do that.
That's funny.
But yeah, and I think we should definitely find something that we disagree with. Maybe
Should we
something
though?
stupid like the Avengers Transformers debate, or the just art or music or whatever. We've had so many brain wars over dumb shit like this that I think it's time we finally brought it to the podcast. I think the people deserve
Should
it.
we, though?
I think the people deserve a mega episode where it's an hour and a half and we just
3-hour episode where we're just yelling at each other by the end of it.
halfway through we have to stop recording because I lunged at you.
We come back and both of us are just on the verge of tears.
Yes.
Just
I have visible cuts on my face. God. Yeah. I think it would be
God.
fun. I think that would be pretty fun
And then
to
the
do.
next cut is us having raw dog sex.
It's got to
Like
be
fucking.
one of those it's 3 to 6 frames of us having just the most voracious raw dog sesh of all time.
Me hyperventilating just now for that bit made me lightheaded.
Now you're seeing stars.
Oh, I'm seeing stars. God.
And all these stars you can see when I'm in Portland next week.
Come meet us.
I actually know it's funny. We actually might be able to get a guest from Twitter in person.
that'd be fun.
I'm meeting up with a couple people from Twitter, around 4th of July weekend. So maybe we can plan something for then. We just have to find somewhere to film. I just don't want to obviously I don't want to bring a complete stranger into your house, and I have nowhere to take a complete stranger. So. We just need somewhere relatively quiet. Maybe someone's
We'll go-
backyard or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll go to a park.
Yeah, do a fucking podcast in the park. Who cares? Pod in the park.
And
Good
then
old-
get kicked out promptly.
For having guns in our asses. We're shooting guns
right,
out of our.
okay. Okay, all right. This is over.
All
Goodbye.
right.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. See ya.
Goodbye.